It's the seat that was held for many, which is the seat that was held for many years by the Republicans, most recently Senator Jackie Winters. I am running for re-election. Yes, this is my third campaign for this seat in 5 years. Because I was elected only to fill the remainder of the term. And so I'm up for election, running for a 4-year term this November. As Bernie mentioned, I don't have a primary candidate and a primary opponent. I do have an opponent in the general. The representative who is in the southern half of this district in House District 19 is running for this Senate seat. Before I forget, I'd like to invite you all to my campaign kickoff, which is on April 23rd at 5 p.m. at Pringle Hall. That's the Pringle Hall that's on Church Street next to the hospital. Hope you can join us then. And so let me just hop in. For the questions, why am I running? I'm running because I've been working really hard to try to move forward the priorities that I think we have as shared values. I was really pleased to be named as chair of the Senate Healthcare Committee, where we're moving forward towards healthcare for all. I'm anxiously awaiting the report of the task force of the task force on access to universal healthcare. That report will be presented in June of 2023. I want to be there to move things forward June of 2022. Sorry, I lost a year there. This pandemic makes all the years run together. And we have so much work to do in healthcare. Last year, we were able to, we had $2 million that Big Pharma spent trying to defeat a bill that we had. I was the chief sponsor of Senate Bill 844, which put in place a pharmaceutical affordability review board. We won. Big Pharma did not. That review board is now being put in place. We have an executive director. I want to continue the work on that. My priorities are healthcare, housing, which we all know, affordable housing, helping folks who are unhoused and making housing affordable for all is got to continue to be a main focus, as well as working on our environment. We don't have a moment to spare. I'm trying to hurry because I know we have only 15 minutes. What are my skilled and lived experience? I've been ordained clergy in the Congregational Church for 30 years now. I have 20 years experience as a healthcare advocate and educator, ran an international organization working with registered nurses for a decade, started when we were in 6 countries, and 10 years later, we were in 23 countries on 5 continents, helping people access needed care and navigate the convoluted health systems. And the American health system is about the most convoluted one there is. So that's what experience I bring to the table. Personal experience as clergy, helping people with personal struggles and on a global. So from the local to the global experience is what I bring. Related to what are my let's see, why am I the strongest Democratic candidate to win in the general election? I am the only Democratic candidate to win the election, so I hope I'm the strongest. Let's see, information about my campaign endorsements and fundraising. Emily Mooney, my chief of staff, is moving over to be my campaign manager. She was a campaign manager for the mayor of Eugene in the past, also for another Senate race last time around, very well equipped. I'm working with the same consultants, Pivot and Sway, who are being helped. I'm being helped with that, the Senate Democratic Leadership Fund, to engage those consultants. I've been endorsed by the mayors of Monmouth, Independence, Salem, a majority of council members in each of those communities, and a majority of the school board members here in the Salem-Kaiser race. Organizationally, I've been endorsed by SEIU, AFSCME. Let's see, where's my list here? I just printed it out. Oh, Planned Parenthood. I'm running against someone who's anti-choice. Sierra Club, the Oregon League of Conservation Voters, Apano, LIUNA, UFCW, Local 555, SEIU I mentioned, Oregon State Building and Construction Trades Council, Oregon Education Association, Oregon Humane Voters, AFT Oregon, AFSCME, and AFL-CIO. And first time around, I raised about $110,000 when I ran in 2018. In 2020, I raised about 1.4 million. This time it'll probably be a little over 1.5 million. Got about 130,000 now, but I'm on my way with these endorsements. And as I mentioned, I have a kickoff on April 23rd. So anyway, I think you've heard my elevator speech so many times. I'm running because I think we need healthcare for all. We need to make housing affordable. We need good, strong schools, and we need to take care of our environment, and now or never, essentially. And so I'm running again, and I'm running to win. I am determined to continue this work with you, not by myself. We are in this together. I've seen so many of you on lobby days. Sadly, it has all been Zoom over the course of the last year, but hopefully very, very soon we'll be having all of those meetings in person in the Capitol. So thank you.
I am so happy to say that Deb is my senator. I'm so fortunate to be able to say that. And so I'm just so happy she could join us tonight. And you'll notice that Deb answered a question that the others hadn't answered. There was an optional question, which was for the candidates to share any information about their campaign or their endorsements or their fundraising that they thought was relevant. For those of you that have been doing this in this game for a while, you know that it does come down to, influence and power and getting some budgets to be able to move people's opinions. And so thanks for sharing that information. I think it's good for voters to understand that's freaking hard work, and it takes a lot of hustle, and we really appreciate you out there fighting for us. And for people that don't know, that aren't in this Senate district, Raquel Moore Green is who's running against her in the fall, who's been our representative, and I am not a fan of her at all. So I would like for this not to even be close if I had it, but I keep telling people, just vote. That's all I want, just vote. So let's open it up to questions for Deb. She really ripped there. Good job, Deb. Thank you so much for burning through those. How about questions from the audience?
Steve, go ahead.
Yeah, what is the Democrat-Republican split in the district?
So 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. The 1/3 Democrat, 1/3 Republican, 1/3 non-affiliated, independent, and other. However, it had gone from about a 4% Democratic advantage to slightly higher. Now it's somewhere between 8 and 12% Democratic advantage. So the district has changed. The piece of the district that was picked up was the area around South Salem High School, that neighborhood, Fairmont neighborhood, all the way up to the south side of the street where the Capitol, essentially up to Willamette University, including that. And then what was lost from the district was Turner and Umsville, which was very and the very far south of, I was going to say the deep south of Salem. But the more we've lost some of the Republican strongholds in the district, it is leaning more Democrat now.
So you still have part of Kaiser?
Never had part of Kaiser.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you did.
Yep. Yeah. Let me. The district is will be and was Monmouth and Independence. Now Turner and Umsville are no longer going to be in the district, but West Salem is in the district, South Salem, and then that portion of Salem that I mentioned before up to the Capitol.
Bob Maynard, did you have a question? Can you raise your hand?
You'll need to unmute, Bob. Unmute, Bob.
Okay. Thank you. Deb, do you have any policies related to aging?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. One of the bills I'd love to bring back is the policy that's and I'm meeting with Andrea Meyer from AARP tomorrow, the policy that discusses age discrimination in employment, particularly now when everybody is trying to hire. There is no reason, and there never should be any reason, even if they weren't trying to hire, to discriminate against people based on their age. So absolutely. I work closely with AARP on their priorities, and I'm really excited about some of the things that we have coming down the pike, and I want to support Project Independence.
Thank you very much.
And Laurel had a question too.
Hi, Laurel.
Hi, Deb. My question is, as you know, Eastern Oregon is kind of like our rural South. Anyway, several bills have been traded away in the last few years, I think, to appease the Eastern Oregon legislators. One is a housing, or the housing related bill. I can't remember 200 or I can't remember.
Yeah.
Anyway,
The
the other one
Ontario
is,
land use bill.
yeah, the other one is the coyote killing contest
Mhm.
one. And I'm wondering how you'll help fight against trading away too much when we have control of of both houses, that so much gets traded away to appease Eastern Oregon.
That's a really good question, Laurel, and two answers. And I see my Senate colleagues, Senator Geltzer Bluen here, who will probably have a good answer to that too. Hi, Sarah. She's got the deep south of Salem now. But the two answers to that are, one, we'll have new Senate leadership, and we already have new leadership in the House, and that'll be interesting to see how that goes, because I think, as you well know, many of the deals were made behind closed doors on those kind of trades, right? And then the other piece is that I think I'd like to make the case that it's urgent that we hold on to Senator Geltzer Bluen's seat. It's urgent that we hold on to my seat. It's urgent that we hold on to Senator Golden's seat, because sometimes these bills passed with just one vote. We need 16 votes to pass something. And I really do worry that the closer it is, the less control, the less power, or whatever, the less ability we have to navigate our way through to leadership not feeling compelled to make those deals. Senator Geltzer Bluen may have another comment on that, but that would be why I would make the case this is a really important seat to save, but hopefully with new leadership and still having majority in both the House and the Senate, we will be able to avoid some of those. And I feel very strongly about the coyote killing. It's wrong. I also need to go on the record, and Joyce knows this, I mentioned this before at another meeting. I made a mistake trying to reach across the aisle, and I voted in favor of that bill out in Ontario because I thought it made it was a way to work with across the aisle, and they made what I felt was a compelling case that Ontario is not Portland and that they did have more land. But I will not go around land use, and that was one of one or two bills that I voted on last time that I regret that I was a yes vote on that. I'll be perfectly honest with you, I made a mistake on that vote.
Deb, unfortunately, I have to close you out and move on to our next candidate.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to be here, and I hope you can all come to my kickoff on April 25th at 5 at Pringle Hall.